My Blood, the Ink. Episode 9. Mating Season.
So to you all, the Sirens of Bay Cove, I ask this. If the Sovereigns could do that with a spark, what could they do if we all gave them just a bit of our light? If we all served? I'm excited to find these answers with you. Thank you.
Good work, as always.
Whew, thanks. Honestly, if I can't get it right after 3 months, and how many speeches has it been?
About 40.
Yeah. At this point, I'm pretty sure I could do this in my sleep.
Excuse me.
Hi. Yes?
I'm Shay. I'm a resident here. I just wanted to say that was an amazing speech. I'm feeling really inspired.
Really? Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for coming.
Oh, I wouldn't have missed it. It's not every day the divine emissary comes through your hometown.
I've heard a lot about Bay Cove, and I must say, I've been very much looking forward to getting to visit. A sentiment I thought I shared with the official scheduler.
Some things are beyond my control.
Strange, considering you literally make the schedule.
We all answer to someone. Excuse me, miss, will that be all?
No, not quite. I'm sorry, but you're a lot more handsome in person. Not that you weren't in the media clips, but there's a charisma you have that really just steps it up.
You know, I get that a lot.
You do?
Yeah, but do you know what I think it really is?
No, what?
I think whenever I'm around beautiful people like yourself, I just reflect what I'm seeing.
Is that how it works?
It's my working theory.
Well, if you have some time, your speech inspired me so much that I really wanted to run some ideas by you.
Oh.
About how I could serve.
You know, I think I saw you in the audience when I was giving my speech.
Really?
Absolutely. And I remember thinking, now she looks like she may have some good ideas.
I'm even better putting them into action.
I'm sure you are. Unfortunately, Dante has a tight schedule today and doesn't have time for any one-on-ones.
Of course I have time for one-on-ones. That's the whole point of this initiative.
Well, today there has been something urgent that came up, and you'll have to head back to the palace earlier than we planned.
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Yes, well, I was about to tell you before...
Shay?
Before Shay came along. Anyway, thank you so much, miss. We'll be in touch about rescheduling some dates.
But you don't have my information.
Oh, we'll find a way to connect.
I could just give it to you right now.
Completely unnecessary. Have a great day, miss.
What was that about?
You don't want to go down that path, believe me.
What if I want to go down that path?
Why would you want to?
Why wouldn't I? Is there another path I should be going down instead?
I don't know. That's not really my business.
Oh, so now what paths I do or do not go down are none of your business.
Correct.
So if I went back to find Shay and get her information or do some reflections, you wouldn't have a problem with that?
Do what you want, Dante. You always do anyway.
Oh my god, I hate when you get like this.
Like what?
You know like what?
If you want to go off with your groupie, then go with her. I don't care.
You aren't acting like someone who doesn't care.
I don't have time for this. I'm going to go check on Koi Valu.
What do you mean check on him? It's been months. Everyone else is fine. Is he still not fine?
I don't know. No one knows. That's why I have to go and check. You're not even supposed to know about any of this, as it's a major security issue, so just keep your mouth shut. You and Shay can talk about whatever else you want, just not that.
Why are you putting quotes around her name? That's literally her name. And obviously, I wouldn't talk about that with her. I'm not going to talk to her at all.
Swear it.
All of a sudden, you don't trust me.
It's not about trust. Just swear you won't tell anyone about Koi Valu.
I swear.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
in a mood.
I don't want to talk about it.
Come on, tell me everything.
He is infuriating.
Narrow it down for me, dear.
Selwyn. One day he's my guide and it's all business. The next day he's my friend and we have a great time. Then he's my guide again. Then some days there's something more.
Do you want there to be something more?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably. But he's just so... A couple weeks ago, he brought me to the Wicked Whirlpool, and as an aside, I've seen some amazing technological feats from you people, but making an amusement park out of currents and whirlpools is just ingenious.
Thank you.
So I'm doing it all. Loops and twirls and spins and flips, and soon I get so dizzy I can't swim straight. Before I know it, he's holding me, and eventually the nausea passes, and he's still holding me. And Sybella, he feels so safe and solid, but in a warm way, not his usual way. And he weirdly smells earthy. And it made me miss home for the first time since I've been here. And it makes me so comfortable that I decide to rest my head on his shoulder. And I felt more terror in that 10 seconds than I had when I drowned or when I was swimming towards Olokun in the middle of a life or death battle. But do you know what he does after those 10 seconds?
No clue.
He puts his head back on mine. Now, I don't know about Atlantis, but where I come from, that means something. Like a more than friend something. Is that not a custom for you all?
I would say head resting is pretty universal for more than friends something.
Exactly. God, I love you. Exactly. So that happens, but we don't really talk about it afterwards. We just go home. And then I don't see him for a week.
Well, that seems extreme.
It does seem extreme, doesn't it? Next time I see him, he acts like nothing happened. And ever since then, he's been hot and cold. And today, I'm just having a normal conversation with one of the sirens I met after my speech. And is she a beautiful woman? Maybe. Is she maybe flirting with me a little bit? Possibly. Do I flirt back a little? Perhaps. But then he acts like a jealous, crazy person and embarrasses me and honestly embarrasses himself. And then when I call him out on it, he pretends like he has no issues with anything and he doesn't care what I do. Now, how is that fair to me? You can't just pretend that there isn't something brewing between us, but then also try to shut down anything else I might try to find.
Come here. I know you aren't gonna want to hear this right now, but you are adorable.
I haven't been adorable in years. I've matured into sexiness now.
Yes. Well, maybe for the boys and girls your age, that may be true. Sit down. Have you ever been in love before?
Not really. First I was too young, then too obsessed with trying to find magic. Then too depressed, and then I ended up here.
Well, love always carries with it a touch of madness. But first love, everything lives in extremes. Have you thought about what he might be feeling?
He's probably just worrying like he always does. He needs to relax.
The stakes are higher for him than you. The worst that happens for you is maybe you get rejected. Maybe you pursue something and it eventually doesn't work out. That alone could be enough to cause deep fear in some. But he's also responsible for you. Things that he's worked for, a career that he's built up for himself, could be at risk if he pursues this with you.
But I would never jeopardize that for him.
I'm sure you never would intentionally. But look at what happened today. You aren't even together, and already whatever there is between the two of you is interfering with your work.
I guess that's true.
And now, add to that, you're the divine emissary. If he does have feelings for you, it must be hard to watch the way other people desire you or want to claim you. And knowing how flirtatious you can be, I'm sure you don't make it easy for him.
I can't help it. I'm a people person.
You can help it if you think about how it makes someone feel. You need to slow down and be patient. Sometimes people need a push, but first they need to feel safe. Make sure he feels safe.
Was it this hard for you on your first go-round?
Oh, it was worse. Much, much worse. I was stubborn and idealistic. Sometimes when you're willing to stand for something, you're ready to pay whatever price you must. But it's often the ones you love that end up paying the cost.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I regret some parts of it, but it also helped make me who I am today. And I love who I am today.
I love who you are today, too.
Don't be careless with that word. The more often it's shared, the less true it becomes.
I'm not being careless. I mean it. And trust me, it's not a sentiment I share frequently.
Okay. I'm going to leave. You aren't my only client, you know.
Yes, but I'm your favorite client.
Remember that you're wearing the red ensemble tomorrow?
Yes, but I'm your favorite client.
And the green one is for next Tuesday.
Yes, but I'm your favorite client.
Dante.
Just say it and it's over.
You're my favorite client.
I know.
I almost forgot. Here's Koi Velou's scale. Like brand new if I say so myself.
He's still really sick.
Who told you that?
Selwyn. He said that he hasn't recovered since exhibition, even though everyone else has.
I'm sorry to hear that. What are they trying to do?
I don't know. Actually, I promised Selwyn I wouldn't tell anyone.
You and I have an agreement, remember?
Yeah, but I swore to him that I wouldn't. I really wasn't gonna bring it up.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I won't tell anyone. Just like I never tell anyone anything you tell me, and you never tell anyone anything I ever tell you. They'll never know. I'll just keep the dragon in my prayers for now, okay?
Okay.
I'll see you in a few days. And remember, the red one is for tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Were you sleeping?
No, I was just decompressing. Why?
Well, I was thinking earlier today that there were a few things I forgot to show you and wondered whether you'd like to go and see them. With me. Tonight.
Sure. Just give me a moment to get dressed. Is there a particular dress code I should be following?
No, it's nothing formal.
Got it.
Do you need help?
Sure. You and Sybella probably know my wardrobe better than I do.
It's less that and more that I know what looks good on you. Not that it takes much.
Oh. Thank you.
Of course. What was that?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh.
Aside from the thank you. No, aside from the thank you, I didn't say anything else. That's all that I said. From before, when you asked me if I had said anything, I didn't say anything right before you asked that, but before you asked that, I had just said thank you, which I guess you heard because you responded to it.
Oh.
So did you find something, or?
Oh, right. Here.
Is this something I wear, or is it a fabric puzzle?
It's called a Shavonne. In fairness, it can be temperamental. I almost strangled myself trying to get one on soon after I arrived in Atlantis. Let's put it back and find something else.
No, I mean, I trust your taste. Can you just... I don't know, can you help me put it on?
You've been here all this time and you still can't trust yourself.
I have literally been dressed by someone else since the moment I got here. Cut me some slack.
Fine. Here, just turn around.
Okay. So, you're not from Atlantis? I assumed you were born here.
I've only been here for 10 years.
How am I just finding this out? Based on how everyone acts around you, it sometimes feels like you're the mayor or something. Not to mention how much the sovereigns trust you.
I've worked very hard. Put your arm through here.
Clearly. Where were you before? In one of the outpost sea villages?
I'm not from the sea at all. My mother is a river nymph and my father was a human.
Is that why you have legs instead of a tail?
What have I told you about commenting on people's bodies?
How else am I supposed to learn?
Read the books I gave you. I was very thorough.
So boring. Books are for stories, not diagrams. How about your father? You said was. Did he pass away? Did you all live together? Can you even live on land?
You're asking a lot of questions, Dante.
You should be used to that by now. There's just so much I don't know about you still. I'm trying to change that.
River nymphs can't survive far from their bodies of water. My father was so in love with my mother that he built a house on her riverside. He loved her so much that he just gave up his life. Everything he wanted, just so he could be with her.
Sounds like maybe she was all he wanted.
That's definitely something he would say. I came along and we were pretty happy for a while. And then one day, when I was 11 or 12, he fell from the ladder he was using to fix the roof and just died.
I'm so sorry.
I remember feeling so confused. Who dies from something like that? One minute he was here and then gone. No blaze of glory, no drama, no great purpose, just a small life and a quiet death. After it happened, I just wanted to leave. He used to tell me stories about the ocean, and I just felt like my world was supposed to be so much bigger than a riverbank. My mother didn't want me to leave. For her, the sea was an expanse as large as the cosmos. She was terrified and worried she'd never see me again, putting aside the fact that we're freshwater nymphs.
I hadn't even thought of that. How do you manage?
My necklace. It filters the seawater. Turns out I wasn't the only nymph with dreams of making it in the ocean. There were so many of us that these necklaces are fairly easy to get hold of.
That's amazing. Here I thought it was just a bold fashion choice. Sorry if I poked at a sore spot.
It's fine. I haven't really talked about him with anyone before. It wasn't as horrible as I anticipated. I think we've finally gotten you taken care of. What do you think?
Looks like you do have a really great eye.
I'm glad to hear it. Are you ready?
Sure. Of all the Atlantean architecture I had seen, the jellyfish towers were easily my favorite. They were enormous structures, the aquatic equivalent of a skyscraper. The columns that formed the base were veiled in miles and miles of blue and purple light. At the top, where the head of the jellyfish would be, were entire towns and villages encased in glass. Remind me again, how do the towers not sink or float away?
Localized gravity fields at the top and bottom that exert force in opposing directions. The top pushes down, the bottom pushes up.
How are they not smashed?
Very precise math. And a world-class calibrating system.
Just imagine these in the air back on land. Although I wonder how people would get in and out. Wait a minute. I was thinking something's different about you, but I couldn't place it until just right now.
What is it?
You don't have your slate.
Is that so strange?
I don't think I've ever seen you without it.
Well, that's because this isn't an official outing, I'm not accompanying you in an official capacity.
So, this is a personal excursion.
I guess you could say that, yes?
I'm sorry. I wish you had told me that sooner. I'm gonna head back if that's alright.
What do you mean?
I only went out with you this late because I thought this was some official thing we were doing, but if not, then I think I just want to call it a night. I've got a bit of a long day tomorrow. We have those 4 stops on the tour, you know.
Oh, yes, that's right. I should have taken that into consideration. Let's get you back.
I'm kidding. You should have seen your face.
That was really cruel.
More cruel than suddenly disappearing for 2 days?
I am sorry about that.
Are you also sorry for disappearing for an entire week after the water park?
Yes, I'm sorry for that as well.
hard to read you sometimes. It makes me wonder if I'm doing something wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong. It's complicated, but I am sorry.
Thank you. It's fine. We're fine.
Are you sure?
You're here now, aren't you?
Okay. Then let's go.
We swim deeper and deeper into the ocean until we arrive on a flat piece of the seabed, stretching out a few miles wide in every direction. I look down at the lattice metal on the ground, my eyes wide in disbelief. First, I feel it. A faint shaking that slowly builds into a steady growing rumble. Finally, I hear it. A loud shrieking whistle and the screech of metal on metal. Before I can finish preparing myself, a massive train comes to a stop right in front of us. You've been holding out on me, Sel.
I prefer to think of it like I've been saving up some extra special moments. I have to keep a few tricks up my sleeve.
How is this even possible? I guess that's a stupid question. We're in Atlantis. I should be used to this by now.
A few decades ago, a train was being transported between countries, but Selassie felled the ship and we kept the train. She had the development team make it usable, and here we are. The sea train.
As if he had timed it, the doors to the sea train open, and a host of creatures depart its interior. We step in after the rush ends, and I'm in awe. The floor is lined with sea moss. The handles covered in coral and the seats are made of shells, with small cushions in the center. Some creatures and folks stand while others sit, but a few fish and a family of manatees swim lazily back and forth throughout the cart. We sit down, and the local gravity fields on our seats intensify, attaching us squarely to the chair to ensure that we don't float away. I notice that my thigh is touching Selwyn's, but I don't move it. He doesn't move his either. It's like you took an aquarium and turned it into the A-train.
Close your mouth before the plankton swim in.
So, back to our earlier discussion.
What were we discussing?
You.
Right.
So, you leave home and end up in the ocean. How'd you end up working with the Sovereigns?
Atlantis always needs a staffing increase during convocation. But sometimes recruitment can be hard, since apparently most people would rather participate than help plan.
Yes, if you could plan an event that happens every 500 years, or attend an event that happens every 500 years, most would choose attend.
But what if you attended and it was horrible? Entire generations wait for this moment, and what if it's disappointing? Wouldn't you rather work hard to make sure that it's worth it? Sure, I love the events and the celebrations, but when I see someone smiling at those events or celebrations, I can't help but feel like I was part of making that happen. Not to mention, you get the pride of knowing you've worked on one of the rarest events in the world.
That's really beautiful.
Anyway, I secured a job at the palace, kept my head down, and a few years ago I was asked to work on an assignment for Olokun. Ever since then, I've steadily done more and more work for the Septenary.
Impressive. What's your end goal?
Ultimately, I want to be part of the transition team so I can help even when it's not convocation.
And what does the transition team do?
You know how each sovereign reigns independently while the others are in a forced slumber? Well, the transition team is in that slumber as well. Except every 3 years before the next sovereign in line is woken, they work with the current sovereign and their staff, plus the incoming sovereign staff, to ensure a seamless transition. It's everything from preparing reports, changing over the aesthetics because they're all so particular, to planning the conversion of crowns. 3 years into the new reign, they return to their regular slumber.
So, the transition team just lives life 6 years at a time? And then again during convocation?
Yes. They're essentially immortal. They get to see the world change decades at a time.
But what about your mother? Would you ever get to see her again? It sounds like even when you'd be awake, you'd always be working. I don't know, that just seems kind of...
When are you ever going to see your parents again?
What?
If I recall correctly, you ran away from home to have adventures.
Yes, but if I wanted to change my mind, I always could.
You weren't here a day before you were asking Tam Kung to make your transformation permanent. You've been here for months now. Are you planning a trip home anytime soon?
You're being a little aggressive.
Well, it just feels like you're judging a dream I've worked very hard on and I'm very close to achieving.
I get it. Sorry. So, where are we going?
The Arboretum.
That sounds nice. Why there? I don't know, I love it because I trust your taste, but I guess I'm just, curious.
It's one of my favorite places in Atlantis.
Why?
All these questions.
If you gave more detailed answers, then I wouldn't need to ask so much.
Whenever I'm feeling anxious, or homesick, or frustrated, or honestly even when I'm happy or excited, it's where I go. There's something about it that centers me. It could just be that being surrounded by all that nature, even when I'm underground, feels like I'm home and here at the same time.
I can't wait to see it. He's still quiet, but he doesn't feel as tense. Something tells me he may be one of those take a moment to themselves types. I decide to play it safe and give him space. I wriggle my bare toes into the mossy ground of the sea train, and I'm suddenly filled with the urge to run, to frolic and feel the buoyant soul beneath my feet. So I do. Like a madman, I run back and forth, end to end of the cart, my head thrown back in laughter. A few children join me, and soon enough the family of manatees swims past us, looping and twirling and kissing our noses. I collapse back into my seat and try and catch my breath. I look up to find Selwyn smiling at me.
It's really hard to stay cross with you.
So stop trying. I offer him my hand. He waits, staring directly into my eyes. And then he takes it, lacing his fingers through mine. A few stops later, we arrive at the Arboretum, our hands still clasped. As we approach, I'm so captivated by the luscious beauty before me that my chest tightens. There's a winding staircase made of multicolored shells. Orange and red gives way to spiraling blues and greens and pockets of purple, until they finally stop hiding from one another and collide into a kaleidoscope of vibrant hues. There's a brook that slowly cascades next to the steps. It glows a neon purple and casts a magical pallor against the shells and stones that rest nearby. Bioluminescent mushrooms, 20 feet tall, sway in the gentle current. Purple, red, and pink coral runs rampant throughout the Arboretum, interspersed with tall, sharp stalks of green and gently fluttering seaweed. We swim slowly throughout the mostly empty garden, both of us silent, but comfortable, content in each other's company. Finally, we reach the center and come to a stop at the base of a giant tree. This is amazing.
I thought you'd like it.
When I was younger, my family took a trip to Japan, and one day while we were visiting a local market, an older man called me over to look at rows upon rows of copper bonsai trees. I thought they were fascinating, so I begged my father to buy one, and he did. The only caveat was that it was my responsibility to hold it. 15 minutes later, my arms were shaking. 10 minutes after that, I was back at the vendor returning it, repeating word for word the apology my father forced me to give.
That's sad. I'm sorry the tree brought up that kind of memory for you. Your father sounds like an interesting man.
I honestly don't know him that well. He pawned me off to my grandmother, so I usually didn't have to deal with him. The times we did interact, it was mostly like that day. But that's not why I'm telling you this. The trunk of this tree, with all these intersecting, spiraling branches that reach so high into the ocean, covered with these flowers of countless varieties and colors, reminds me of how I felt when I thought the vendor was an alchemist that had discovered a way to transform wood into metal. I felt wonder, and joy. Magic. This is what that felt like.
Come here. I want to show you one more thing.
He tugs me to a small cave a few feet away from the upper edge of the arboretum. We swim through it for almost 5 minutes, the soft shine of glowing algae the only light guiding us. We finally stop before a wall, sporting a hole the size of a melon. What are we doing here?
Rest your head against it.
What is this?
It's mating season for the Molassy whales. Every year around this time they gather and sing together. I was exploring here a few years ago and followed the sound until I found this place. By now I can tell where they gather, but I haven't visited. I don't want to intrude. Instead, I just come here and listen. I thought you might like it.
Of course I like it. But why do you care?
What do you mean?
Why do you care if I like it? Why are we here tonight? Why do I always catch you staring at me when you think I won't notice?
Dante.
Earlier, when I was getting dressed, why did your fingers linger on my back when you held me into clothes you chose for me? Why are you still holding my hand? Okay. I think I want to go home now.
Dante.
I'm going home. Thank you for the whales.
Dante, wait!
I can't do this back and forth with you, Selwyn. Clearly you aren't comfortable with this. Message received. It sucks, but I'll get over it. In the meantime, there's a whole ocean I can explore. We don't need to force anything. It's okay. Let's just head back.
I was assigned to you as a test. My final test. And if I passed, I would get everything I worked so hard for after all these years.
Then let's not do this. I know how much your work means to you, and believe it or not, I want you to get everything you've always wanted.
Everything I thought I wanted.
Selwyn, please, this isn't fair.
I had a plan, Dante. I live by plans. It's how I made it from a small river outside a town no one has ever heard of to working with gods. I saw the life I wanted for myself, and I worked for it, and I almost have it. I'm so close to finally getting the life I deserve. But then you come along like a tidal wave and crash into my life, and part of me feels like I should resent you. That I should hate you for falling into a life I worked so hard to build. You're here all of 2 days before you get to save all of Atlantis, and you're the divine emissary. You get in a second what it took me years to achieve. But surprise! You're good at it! You're so smart and so charming, and every time I show you something, you just soak it all in with these wide eyes, and it's like I'm seeing Atlantis again for the first time. You're moved by everything, constantly in this perpetual state of awe, and it makes me want to find something new for you every day, just so I can keep seeing you smile. How do you do that? For someone who says he's hated his life so much, I don't understand how you keep finding wonder in everything. Why do you run on a sea train like you're frolicking in a field? You think I don't know what they say? How I'm made of stone and have no one and just exist to serve the septenary. I hear it all the time, but I never get upset because it's true. But then you come around and suddenly I'm feeling everything. You frustrate me. You terrify me. You make me laugh. You annoy me. You inspire me. You make me feel jealous. You make me lust. And it's all too much, and I don't know what to do with myself, so I have to stay away from you and somehow get back to normalcy. But then the longer I'm away from you, the more it hurts. Because now I can tell. Now I know how sad I was before you, and before I was just so sad for so long that I thought it was normal. I thought it was just how I was. But now I know that isn't true, and I don't know what to do.
It's easy. Just say yes.
That's easy for you to say.
You're not the only one trying to get a handle on some big feelings, Selwyn.
Really?
Are you kidding me? I had a whole moment earlier. Today. I have been a mess.
You and your moments.
So, I understand how hard you've worked to get yourself here. I understand how much you've had to keep an eye fixed on tomorrow just to survive, and I would never want to jeopardize that for you.
I know that you wouldn't.
So what is there to think about? I like you. You like me. That's all that matters, right?
Yes, but...
No buts. No contingencies. No what-ifs. Just me and you.
I've never done anything like this before.
Neither have I. But I can promise you this. I will never hurt you. I will never leave you. And I will tell the Sovereigns that no one could have been a better guide to me than you. So just be here. Right now. Be here with me.
Like that?
Just like that. You're pretty good at this for someone who's never done this before.
I've had a lot of practice.
Well, you made me feel really special for a moment there, but you're losing me.
I was practicing in my dreams. With you.
Are you saying that I'm literally the man of your dreams?
I don't know about that, but I can at least say that you're a man in my dreams.
I'll take it. For now.
I know that I messed it up in real life, but I dreamt we were back at the Wicked Whirlpool. But this time I wasn't scared. This time I didn't freeze. This time I lifted your head from my lap and kissed you.
How does real life compare?
So much better. Every time you open your door in the morning with your hair unkempt and your eyes half closed, I think about what it might be like to wake up next to you.
I think we can make that happen.
When Shay...
So, you have to stop with that. That is literally her name.
When Shay kept trying to flirt with you, I kept running scenarios in my mind of all the different ways I could tell her exactly where she could shove all of her ideas.
You know, I never pegged you for the jealous type. It's always the quiet ones.
Is that a problem?
I'd be offended if you weren't jealous. Have you met me? I'm a catch.
When did you know?
How I felt about you? Honestly, I'm not sure. I think I felt a connection to you from the moment I laid eyes on you in that throne room. First time I wanted to kiss you was about a week later in the middle of a lecture you gave me concerning the migratory patterns of sea lions and how that affects food costs.
That's what did it for you.
You were so passionate.
It's a correlation most don't take seriously enough.
I may have been attracted to you for a while, but I've never wanted you more than this moment.
Well, if you want me, you can have me, I guess.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said if you want me, then you can have me, I guess.
Guess? No. You said I inspire you, right?
Yes.
You said I make you laugh, right?
Yes.
You said I make you lust, right?
Yes.
Then there should be no guessing. Tell me. Tell me what you want.
I want this. I want us.
Now, was that so hard? Wait. I need you to focus for a second.
I was pretty focused.
No, I need you to focus on helping me out of this Shavonne.
Are you sure?
I've been in Atlantis for 3 months. You have been a phenomenal teacher and a wonderful guide that has shown me so many amazing sights. But in about 30 seconds, you're going to take off my clothes, and then I'm going to take off your clothes. And by the time we both fall asleep, which I promise you will not be anytime soon, I will have explored every single inch of you. Is that all right with you?
Very much so, yes.
Wonderful. Now help me, because my arm is stuck. My Blood the Ink is a production of Akeem's Alchemy. Episode 9, Mating Season, was written and directed by J.Cottle. It features original compositions by Miguel Landestoy, sound design by J.Cottle, studio engineering by Tom Nikiper and Carlos Curry, and editing by Lucy Little. This episode featured J.Cottle as Dante, Jude Torres as Selwyn, Shavonne Brown as Sybella, and Jamiece Shepard as Shay. My Blood the Ink is executive produced by J.Cottle and Jasmine Garcia. Special thanks to our Patreon supporters, Jordan Leslie, Taniqua Patrick, Mika Rose, Daisy Oganetto, Allison Calderon Patrick, and Christina Jefferson. For more information on My Blood the Ink and Akeem's Alchemy, visit us on Instagram at Akeem's Alchemy or our website at akeemsalchemy.com. Remember, no matter how dark it gets, yours is a life worth living and a story worth telling. Until next time...